Holy shit, dude. Jimmy Alvarez, and this is my 2010 Nissan GTR. I always loved the playing Gran Turismo, R32, R33. You know, obviously the big cars that you loved that we could not get here. I had a 33, an R33 for a while. Loved the sound of the RB26. Great car, great car. I think it was the beginning of the love for that car. And then when the 35 finally arrived to the shores, I mean, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta have a 35, and I just did. So I remember getting the car, and the one thing that was like striking about it is how easy the car was to drive. Right, it's very, you know, coming from like 1,000 horsepower Supras, that car, very easy to drive. You just get in, and basically, yes, it drives itself in the stock form. Once you start modifying it, it's a different story. But it was an interesting first drive when I drove it, and I just fell in love with it. At the moment that I drove the car, I just fell in love with it. It was an interesting transition, actually, because coming from all stick shifts, right? I used to have the Supra, the R33, all those cars, and having a dual clutch transmission, it was very much like, well, I'm not involved here, right? And I think that's what I started. Let me modify the car. Maybe if I modify the car, it will make up for the fact that it's automatic and it's got this, you know, paddles. It was an interesting transition. I think it took a while to get used to it, but if you want to go fast, unfortunately, that's the way to go. So the car currently, to the ground, makes over 1,100 horsepower. And like I said, Michelin Bialo Super Sports, 100% street tires. This is not a drag slick. This is not a cheater slick. It's a street tire. Makes that power to the ground all the time. And I always keep it all the way up, every single time. So I've driven the car. The car has actually been in the Gumball race, the Gumball Rally. There is, I went out with Tim Shami 150, and we did the Gumball Rally together. A lot of fun. The car went all the way to New York. We did from Miami to New York. It was fun beating on all these other cars that thought they were fast, but I couldn't keep up with this. Yeah, so the car has been through a lot. Like, as far as I drive the car, this is not a garage queen. It comes out and it does what it needs to do, and that was my point with the car. I'm not gonna keep it. It's like having a really hot girlfriend and not banging her, because you're gonna keep her for the next guy. Yeah, so this GTR has been through several stages, actually. It first began its life as a full bolt-on car, or FBO, what everybody calls it. It had intake, exhaust, downpipe, all of that, right? Car was doing quite well at the time. It was, you know, going like 10 3s, 10 4s. And then we decided to upgrade the turbos, but leave the engine stock, which was interesting because at the time, not a lot of people were doing that. People were freaking out about the motor blowing up and what was the limit of the motor, and people didn't know. And we upgraded the turbos, and the car went 9/8 at 140 something miles an hour, which was great for the time. And we arrive at the final stage where we're at right now, which is full build motor. It's got a Shep transmission 1K, The motor was built by Marco at Billet Design. Great friend of mine. He's been a friend for over 15 plus years. And it's got spray racing stock manifold turbos, stage 4s, and everything else in between, right? AMS intercooler and fuel system, everything that you can imagine on the car. You'll notice also that the car has a newer bumper, so I've done all aesthetically. The car is basically looks like a 2015. It has a 2015 headlights, 2015 bumper, everything is 2015 on the car, so it's been upgraded to the new look. So yeah, it's a Nissan at the end of the day. People, yes, it's considered a supercar. To me, it's just a Nissan. And if you look at it, once you start really getting into it, it shares a lot of parts with a lot of different Nissans. The knobs inside, a lot of the things is like a regular Nissan. So the failures are they're costly, they're expensive. But the way I see it, you learn too. So live and learn. Sometimes you learn paying a little more. So I would like to thank Marco at Billet Design first and foremost. He has helped me throughout the years. He's a great friend of mine. Love the guy. Bill Spray Racing for the awesome tune of the car. Car runs flawless thanks to him. I would also like to thank the GTR South Florida squad. We have a very strong group of GTR owners. Very happy that to be part of that team and that group. Would love to thank my wife for putting up with the bullshit for all this building and rebuilding again. She's a trooper for putting up with the hobby. And yeah, that's it. My name is Jimmy Alvarez, and you're watching At The Curb.